What's up, world? This is Coach Banta, and this is a salute to our seniors. Our senior class of 2020 etched their names into the record books and history of Park Central with a chainsaw. No team that I've ever had has probably accomplished more in the time that they've been together in the 4 years that I've had the pleasure to coach them in both cross country and in track and field. This season, we were ranked number one in the state of Missouri returning. Last year, we were third in the state championship. So it would have been an amazing, special, and historic season. And if we would have done what we were ranked to do, we would have been the first female sport since 1985 to win a team title. So this group was very, very, very special and will forever be a major part of our history and the stories and the lore of our program. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to highlight all the seniors in the program and the things that they've accomplished while they've been a part of the team. First, our athlete on the right in the yellow shirt is Emily Kirkham. Emily Kirkham has had the unique situation of being probably our most improved runner every single season she's been a part of our program. From beginning to end, she's dropped the most amount of time from race to race. And in fact, one of the major highlights of her sports career was breaking 6 minutes when she first started out in our program, somewhere around an 11-minute miler. That kind of progression and improvement doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of grit and determination to get there. And Emily certainly embodies that grit and determination to be successful. And we're really proud of her. She also had the unique distinction of being one of the most improved 5K runners in the state of Missouri her junior cross country season. Emily is a special person, a special athlete, and a wonderful kid. She will be missed. Claudia Cook, who is on the right in the blue shirt. Claudia has an interesting distinction in our program. Her freshman year, she went out for lacrosse and decided that wasn't for her and kind of supported our team from the sidelines her freshman year. Her sophomore year, she fully committed to doing track and field and ended up having an ACL tear in basketball that obviously limited her participation, but she never missed a practice. She was there every day supporting our team. And in that particular season, our team not only had a state qualifier in the shot put and discus, but also we were top 5 in the state as a team. And we had a really good program in 2018. And she was a big part of stabilizing that thrower group, keeping a positive attitude for the girls and making things great. And then this year she came back after taking a hiatus to concentrate on basketball to earn herself a college basketball scholarship, which she accomplished this year. And we knew that after the basketball seasons that she was able to put together the last 2 years, she would have been a major contributor to our program and would have thrown really, really far. And it's bittersweet that we weren't able to see her perform in a competition, but that doesn't diminish the wonderful addition that she was to our program through her support and her efforts of her teammates and being such an awesome student in the classroom. Ashley came to our program last summer. I got a couple emails from Ashley and talking about coming to the school and didn't know what to think through those limited communications from her, knowing, we get emails and inquiries all the time about joining cross country or track and field. And, both sports are really, really humbling and difficult and challenging and probably the hardest things you could do athletically in school. I don't think probably they are the hardest things to do. So you just never know if a kid's going to make it. Well, sure enough, Ashley was a contributor in cross country as a member of our varsity cross country team throughout a lot of the season. She was one of the hardest workers on our team. She massively improved over the course of the season and ended up being our newcomer of the year. And again, in track and field, she was super dedicated in the winter, never missed a winter conditioning session, was there every day, putting in every workout, all the lifts, all the drills, all the exercises, and was just the greatest teammate to the distance crew and was a wonderful leader. Again, unfortunately, we weren't able to have her as a member of our track team to perform this spring due to the cancellation of the season. But Ashley has assured me that she's going to continue to run 5Ks and half marathons and marathons in the future. And I guarantee she's going to be a great runner just based on the things that we were able to see in cross country and throughout the limited time that we had with her in the track and field season. She was an awesome addition, and I know she's going to go on to bigger and better things as she moves forward. Marina Ira, she was basically our hurdle captain this year and was one of the young ladies who kept getting better and better and better as she moved throughout the program. She ended up being one of the top 300 hurdlers in the area, one of the top 300 hurdlers in our conference, and was a leader of our hurdler group. And she was able to do this and balance this all while having a medical internship and a bunch of different programs that she was a part of academically. She's one of those Renaissance kids that we love so much at Parkway that's able to do so many different things at a high level and is just such a positive and sweet person throughout the process. I know and she knows that she was going to have an amazing season in the 300 hurdles and probably get herself even higher into the rankings in school history on that list as the event being her very, very best. Again, unfortunately, we weren't able to see that come through, but she certainly had a number of great performances throughout the season and was able to improve each and every year she was a part of our program, getting better and better and being a major contributor to our varsity team as a junior. Sophie Lewis. Sophie Lewis is now my neighbor. She and I have had many conversations and different talks about life and trust and sports and athletics and politics. And Sophie has been a part of not only so many good track teams, but also great cross country teams. She was a member of our district runner up cross country team her junior season and has one of the fastest miles in school history, has one of the fastest 800 splits in school history, and is also one of our fastest 2-milers in school history. She's also a high end academic kid and beloved by her teammates and just an awesome, wonderful person. She certainly is going to be a runner for life and has, etched her name into the record books, into our top 30 and 40 lists in all of the events that we've had, since track and field for women has been going on since the 1970s. She has been a mainstay in our program and one of the key contributors to us winning conference and district titles and Park Rock titles and invitational titles throughout all levels from JV to varsity. She will be missed. She was a major contributor and a wonderful, wonderful teammate. Ella Hake. Ella is one of those young ladies, and it's funny that we have a cross country picture here, but she's actually a sprinter, and she stuck out cross country throughout, most of the time here at Parkway Central, which is not easy to do, to build and prepare and to get in shape for track. Ella is one of those kids that you're so proud to have as a part of your program because she added so much depth to the sprint crew that we had. Last year in 2019, our Parkway Central girls track team had the number one ranked 100-meter crew and 400-meter crew, and then we were second in the 200. Without Ella, we wouldn't have been part of that list. She is one of those kids that in a lot of other programs that didn't have the depth and breadth of talent that we had, she'd probably be the number one sprinter in a lot of programs. That's just how talented she is. She's on our all world list for the 100-meter dash. And I know without a doubt, she would have been way up on our list this year with a massive improvement coming because of all the work that she did over the winter. She put in more work this winter than she's ever done before. And in the weight room and on the track, and really kind of transformed herself. We were looking forward to her and what she was going to be able to do. She's a multi-time all-conference athlete at the JV level. She was an alternate on our sprint relays going to the state championship. Ella is a stud, and everyone should know how good she is because she was one of those kids that really shored up the depth in our program wonderfully. All right, the next is Savannah. When I first met Savannah when she was an 8th grader at Expo Night, I knew that this young lady was going to be a really good high jumper. She just had the frame and looked like she had the bounce when she moved around. And sure enough, she became one of our better high jumpers in our program in the 4 years that she was a part of our track team. She also was on the cross country team. She is a multi-talented young lady that's got a lot of skills in terms of computer development and vlogging and all sorts of awesome stuff. But for us, she was basically like the captain of our high jump squad and one of the mainstays in our program for our jumps crew. And we were so excited to have her part of her team. And she pretty much provided us one of the best moments as she kept PRing over and over and over in a district championship competition that led us to a district plaque. And without those points, we would have not been in the conversation for that. And without her dramatic improvement at the exact right time, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish that as well. Savannah would have definitely jumped very high this year and set a bunch of PRs. And, she played a lot on the varsity basketball team this year as well. That was really good and one of the top teams in the area. And Savannah's positive attitude and energy and free spirit will be missed. And the high jump pit will be just a little bit more sad without her around. All right. Sophia Day. I had the pleasure of coaching and teaching Sophia Day. Sophia Day is one of those athletes that you probably think about when you're older because you hope that they're going to end up being a coach and you get to compete against them one day. Sophia is one of those kids that checks off all the boxes in training, does everything that she can, and is never satisfied unless she's given you 100% every stinking time. We've had the pleasure of Sophia being one of our fastest girls in school history in the 400-meter dash. She was an alternate on our 4x4s that have made it to state and been all state multiple times and would have probably been one of the best 4x4s in the state of Missouri this year. She was a part of our 400-meter crew that was ranked #1 in the state of Missouri. Sophia Day, I consider like a little sister. She's awesome. She's great. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that later on, 10, 15 years from now, she's going to be an amazing, productive citizen that's going to make whatever place and whatever career and path she chooses better. Sophia, you will be missed. Sara Espendola. I'm not usually that grumpy, I promise, in the picture. Sara is amazing. Sara was one of those kids in middle school that you were desperate to have as a member of your cross country and track and field team. She was basically the best runner in her grade throughout. Her path has not been easy. Sara has had numerous setbacks and challenges from injuries to broken bones and other things. But the amazing thing about Sara is her ability to just keep getting up, keep moving forward, and keep pushing. She's had the pleasure of being a member of one of our state championship cross country teams as a freshman, and she was an individual qualifier as well. Sara is one of our better athletes in the 3,200 meters and also has been on our 4x8 and has run the mile for us. Sara is a great kid. She's an awesome leader, member of the FCA, and a very conscientious student and academically a superior kid as well. She's great and wonderful and a kid that you would love to have in your program. And a kid that's a good example of never ever giving up, no matter what the world puts in front of you, no matter what faces you, continuing to do the next right thing and to make the next right choice in life. Thank you, Sara. All right, next up is Mckenna Westerfield. Mckenna Westerfield is one of the fastest girls in school history in the 5K, one of the fastest girls in school history in the mile, and also in the 800. Mckenna had a unique experience last year as a track athlete in our program for the first time. She PR'd 16 straight times. And for those of us that aren't real big track people, PR means personal record. So that means literally every time she stepped on the track last year, she got better. In the district championship, we asked a lot from her. We asked her to run the 4x8, the mile, and the 800. That is a lot of running to do for a first year track and field athlete in a high school setting. But she took it willingly and with a smile. She ended up leading our 4x8 to conference championship. She also was all district and all conference in the 4x8, the mile, and the 800. And without those points from her and one of her other distance teammates, we would have not been able to bring home those championships, which eventually will be hung on the walls inside our gymnasium with the rest of our accomplishments as a team. This year, Mckenna was going to do some amazing stuff. Mckenna never, ever missed one single winter practice and improved and got faster throughout the time. We're hopeful that she'll get an opportunity to have a time trial, hopefully in the near future, to show how stinking fast she is And depending on where, she's going to college, I really do believe that she could be a member of their track and field team and make that a part of her life from here on out. And the most interesting thing about McKenna is that she actually was in our school system when she was younger, like as a middle schooler, and then had to move and moved all over Europe. Her dad is, vice president of a pretty important company, and so she had to jump all over the place in terms of where she was living. And instantly, when she came back to be a part of our program, she was just like one of the girls, and it's like she had never left. And she was never rattled and never shaken. And she's a steely competitor that all coaches wish they could have in all of their athletes in terms of getting the job done with grit and determination and letting it all hang out every time you go out and perform. And this picture here is a good example of just her grit and determination and fight as she finishes off a girl from Marquette and Parkway West. Jayla Kelly. Jayla Kelly is one of those kids, when you first met her, you knew she was going to be a really, really good thrower. Well, she also happens to be a really, really good basketball player. And she has the distinct honor and awesome opportunity to play for the University of Missouri next year as one of their basketball players on scholarship. Jayla is a fiery competitor and one of those kids you love to coach just because of how passionate and how important the sport is to her and her development. When she was a sophomore, she qualified to the state championship, both in the shot put and discus. And she's one of the best throwers in both of those events in school history. She is in the top 10 in both, and she's ranked second in our school history in the shot put. This year, coming back as a senior, she would have probably destroyed both the records in the shot and the discus. She happens to also be a grade level record holder in the javelin as well. She's an all around great talent, great student, and an awesome kid. And man, it's tough to not have this season because I know that she would have done some amazing things and probably would have been the instrumental piece for us winning a team title. But that's okay. We still will get the pleasure of watching her play at a Power Five school just up the road. Kennedy Moe on the go. Kennedy Moore was our Swiss Army knife track and field athlete. She's a cross country runner, but also all state in the 4x1. She ran on our 4x8, but she was also a sectional qualifier in long jump. She's one of the fastest girls in the 100, 200, 400, and one of the best long jumpers in school history, and also has a pretty darn fast 5K and was a sectional qualifier as a junior in cross country as well. Kennedy Moore is extremely talented, very hardworking, and a positive force for good in our school. I had the pleasure of teaching her as a student and coaching her. And it was a very rare occasion that she would get beat in interval workouts in practice. I'm excited to say that Kennedy Moe on the go is going to continue her career as a track and field athlete at the University of Missouri in St. Louis. UMSL for their brand new track and field team. And what a diamond they're getting for that program. To have an athlete that can cover so many bases for them is going to be a really, really good starting place as a program with having her on it. And she will be missed. And again, gosh darn, she would have done so many special things. She's all state in the 4x1, the 4x2, and 4x4, and has the distinct pleasure of being on some of the fastest relays in school history. In fact, our 4x1 last year was the third fastest we've ever run in school history. The only other two were the ones that, again, finished second and first in the state championship. She's just that darn good. What a special athlete, what a special kid, and comes from great stock and a great family. And again, she will be missed. Brooke Hilton. Well, I've said a lot about Brooke Hilton over the years, and pretty much all of it's been good. She's one of those kids that does every single thing you could ask for in a program. She never misses. She's always there. She's finishing off work in the weight room. She's doing the right things when you're away from her for the 22 hours that you don't coach her. She's an amazing student. She is our post-dispatch scholar athlete of the year. She's been a state qualifier 2 times in cross country. She's been a state qualifier individually in the mile. She's also invited to the Festival of Miles, which is a honor for many distance runners as a postseason event that you have to qualify in based on your times. throughout the state and the Midwest. She is a member of an all-state 4x8. She is a member of multiple all-state 4x4s. She would have been a member of multiple all-state relays again this year. And Brooke is a great overall athlete, also a major contributor to the basketball team as well, and a consummate leader the very first day that she stepped onto the cross-country course as a freshman. She will be missed. She's a great, powerful person, and I know that one day she's going to be doing some great things around the community and whatever she so chooses to do. Brooke Hilton, you're an awesome person, and you will be missed. Last but not least is Nakiri Gage. I've heard about Nakiri Gage when she was an eighth grader. And some of it was good, and some of it was a little bit feisty. But at the end of the day, Nakira and I have had grown closer and closer and closer and closer. She was a captain this year of our track team. She is one of the fastest girls in school history. She is a member of our school record 4x2, all multiple all-state 4x1s and 4x2s. She's a state qualifier as an individual in the 100-meter dash, and she is an absolute spark plug cannonball sprinter. One of the most fun athletes to watch sprint the 100 meters because she just covers so much ground in this tiny bouncy ball package that she is as a sprinter. She's going to go on and run at her college of her choice. She's got a couple of offers. We'll see which one she so chooses. But she's definitely a college track and field athlete, and she's grown so much as a person and a student and a citizen in our school. And above all of her athletic accolades, that's probably what makes me the most proud. Now, at the end of the day, what has this team accomplished? Well, let me break down the stats. This team never lost a conference championship in track. They've won or medaled or trophied, excuse me, all times in the district championships, which is your regional championships. They finished in the top third. They finished third in the state championship, and they finished fifth in the state championship. And this year they were ranked number one. So it was very, very likely, barring anything crazy, that they were going to bring home another state trophy. There are very few girls that have accomplished that much. The conference titles, in district titles, and Park Rock first place finishes, there are so many accolades, it's almost impossible to count. But let's put this into perspective. They earned hundreds of all conference medals, hundreds of all district medals, and dozens of all state medals. This is by far one of the most special track teams classes of graduating seniors we've ever had in our school history. And I'm so proud of them for not only what they've done in the track and in the discus ring and on the runway, but what they do every day as people and in their friendship with each other and the good citizens that they've become. I love you guys. Congratulations on a great career and time at Parkway Central. And I look forward to seeing your growth and development as we move forward. Peace out, guys.